Namaskaram, first of all. My name is Mayur, and I am working as a community associate in this organization called as Ajna Lens. Okay. Today we'll talk about the topic XR architects. That is that is pioneering the future of design and construction. So first of all, we will be having this conversation like into three different parts. So we have three panelists. First, we are going to introduce you to Mr. Manoj Ji. So Manoj Ji has completed his bachelor's from DY Patil College of Engineering and Technology. Completed his master's in environmental architecture from Rachna Sansad Academy of Architecture. He started his career as an architect and has 28 years of experience. He is currently working as a professor in KL Tiwari College of Architecture. Namaskaram and
Hi,
welcome to this panel discussion, Manoj ji.
hi
Namaskar.
Manoj
Thank
ji.
you so much. Hi, hi, hello. Namaskar.
Pleasure connecting with you.
Thanks. Same here.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Next is Mr. Aditya ji. Aditya ji has completed his bachelor's in mass media from Vivekanand Education Society College, has 10 plus years of experience, started his career as an event manager, and has worked as a vice president business development for Google. Currently, he is working as a founder and CEO of the VR company. Aditya ji has started working in this domain back in 2012. That was on Google Street View. He started working in this domain back in 2012 as a into the we can say AR domain as well. Welcome Aditya
Correct.
ji. Namaskaram.
Thank you so much for the
Great.
introduction,
Hello,
Mayur.
Welcome.
Namaskar.
Hi, Vinit.
meet you, Aditya.
Pleasure, Vinit.
Hi,
Hi.
Fantastic. So coming to Mr. Vinit ji has completed his bachelor's in technology from Shiksha Oz Anusandan University, started his career with Codex and is currently working as a co-founder at Twinverse Technology. With a passion of AR, VR and spatial computing, he showcased his work at international exhibition and won the GITEX UTEX 2022 in Dubai. Welcome Vinit ji.
Hello,
hi, Vinny.
Hey,
so
Vinit.
So
nice
it
meeting you
was
all.
when I actually saw the the intro about each and everyone, I was very much we can say lucky to have to host you guys especially. It was very fantastic opportunity for me actually. So first was let's discuss about the what inspired you to venture into your career journey and how has it created an approach towards XR. So let's start from Mr. Manoj ji. Manoj ji is very much senior to us and he has started his journey long back. I think I was not even born that time and he started his career journey.
You're just making us feel old, huh?
No. So I when I saw his 28 years of experience and in that too in architecture and as a professor as well, now he's working. I would really want to know Vinit Manoj that how you started your career in architect back then in 1990s and now getting into XR and architecture. So I would like to have some words from your side about it, about your journey.
Yeah, sure. Actually, when I passed out from, I mean, I did my architecture, completed my bachelor's course. That time, even Windows was not there in India, and entire drawings, everything was manually done. So ours is the generation who has seen the transformation from manual drawings to digital, right from the scratch.
Wow.
That time, just the AutoCAD was introduced, and we were having 486 PCs, and it was a tough time because the drawings used to get heavy, and then it was a tough time to even do the simplest of drawings. And slowly, Windows came and AutoCAD developed several versions and so on and so forth. So we have seen the entire transformation from manual drawings to digital, and now this extended reality XR is taking it to new heights. I mean, it is amazing thing that is happening, and the challenges that we used to face in manual drawings had got erased in digital drawings, because repetition of work, revision, changes, this was all possible quite to be done very quickly in digital media. And now with XR, we are able to offer to the clients or to students or to any stakeholder, because today it's not that only the the client is the person who's going to invest or be the stakeholder. And the entire user group is the stakeholder for you, and everybody is going wants to see the project or feel the project from their own perspective, and showing that perspective from their angle or from our angle, what you have done for them as a benefit or as a design element, becomes very tough to explain. But because of the tools that extended reality provides, it has become cakewalk, and the stakeholders are amazed with the kind of real time experience that they are able to get, and that is something unique. And even, I mean, this has got so much of opportunities. I mean, this is going to be the future now, because there is an enhanced visualization that is possible, which was earlier absolutely not possible. So you can have immersive design where you can feel the project by yourself, and it becomes easy for collaboration with other architects, because architects, though he's a captain of ship, there is a teamwork that is involved, and you need to show it to many consultants which are there. For example, MEP consultants, HVAC consultants, firefighting, air conditioning, security, so many aspects are there, and it becomes easy to collaborate when you have XR, because everybody has their own concern, and many of these errors or practical difficulties would get erased when we show a virtual model, or when we show a walkthrough model with XR, with overlapping it with augmented reality. So it shows what problems you might face later on, and that is a tremendous time saving, effort saving, material saving, labor saving, that is having parallel advantage, which is awesome. So I would like to also say that not only during pre-construction, but during construction process also, it becomes easy to monitor things, and it becomes easy to see before getting it built. So that is a big advantage. I would go one step ahead, where it is able to offer advantage in terms of maintenance of the building. Post completion, many prominent buildings do not even have 2D drawings with them. So repairs becomes difficult, maintenance becomes difficult. Today, buildings are having security threats, so rescue becomes difficult because drawings are not there. The rescue persons are not having, what kind of hazards are there in that building, where the people may be there, where are the occupants. That becomes a problem. So if we have a digital model and we can supply that with the drawings or with the set to the owners or to the people who are going to take care of the building, it would be very easy and very it would have a practical approach in terms of post delivery of the project also. It is not limited only to the design aspect, but post design aspect also during the construction. I mean, post the construction, for the maintenance activities, for repairs activities, for enhancement, rescues, emergencies, firefighting, for all these kinds of thing, you have got a ready-made XR experience, where the person, without going into a hazardous situation, can see what all the potential things are there, or what to take care of, or be caution about. So that is a very, I feel that's a great tool in our hand, especially for architecture and construction. And teaching to it has got amazing advantage. I mean, I'm really amazed with the kind of tools it is able to offer for teaching. I mean, we are able to show students a project without actually going there. That's so much big saving, because it is very difficult for students to take everywhere for every project. It is not possible. But because of XR, we are able to take them to anywhere on the project, and showcase them the situations that are there, or bring in front of them what situations they might face, or where the errors happen, or how the design gets resolved or solved. So it becomes fundamentally, it is a amazing tool, I would say, in terms of usability.
Fantastic. That's a amazing thing that we are also thinking about. Coming next to Mr. Aditya. So, Mr. Aditya, how
Yeah.
was your journey? Like, from Google to, coming into starting your own venture, like being a co-founder of the VR company, and how has this been to you?
So, my journey actually started with digital marketing, and Google entered with a product called Google Street View in India back in 2012-13. So the vision of Google was to map entire India on Google Street View. That was the whole goal. But due to certain government restrictions, they were not allowed to shoot public places. And as per the IP laws, they had to keep Indian data on Indian servers. that became like, I mean, if you see, how they turn a challenge into an opportunity. So Google decided in India will change the program. We'll call it Google Business View. That's how the whole game changed. And they wanted to shoot places which are in private boundaries. So you could search any hotel, hospital, school, uh, I mean, real estate, retail, car showroom, and they added a button called See Inside on that. And if you click on See Inside from satellite view, you could get inside the showroom. Now they couldn't do it directly in India. So fortunately, I was one of the agency picked up back in 2012 to run this program in India and Dubai, and that was my first exposure to how virtual reality works. What is VR, what is virtual tour, and we talk about AI and image learning now, but Google has been doing this since ages. That's when I realized like the mapping, why they are doing, and how they capture data of the stores, how they update the data. They had that advanced image recognition system back then, which could blur things when we shoot it real time. So it really fascinated me, and I won 3 awards from Google in 2013, 14, 15, wherein I was the highest seller of Google Street View in India and Dubai. And I spoke on various platforms wherein how to sell Google Street View and how it is useful for various sectors, why people should use Street View as a tech. But back then, see, Google as a platform never allows you to customize anything or play with their system because of the size of the platform. You cannot change with the framework. So a lot of customization requests started coming from the clients. Can we add, like for example, if I shoot a hospital, so medical tourism was at rise in India. It is still, right. We are one of the hub of medical tourism. So we started thinking, how do we solve this? The hospitals wanted more customization. We want to show our facility. We want to have more patients for plant surgeries. What can you do for us? So we started this experience wherein you could select the kind of room you want, what kind of surgery you want. And if you click that, the doctor could explain you the surgery. We created this holistic experience. And then I thought, why not create this for various domains, various industry? And with that vision, I started the VR company. And back in 2016, when I started, I largely I was selling Google Street View. But then, due to this customization, it led to different products and different services. So since then, I pivoted my route and created a lot of things. And see, my goal was always clear. I want to be a visual tech company. I'm a visual tech company. I will always do only visual. A lot of times, client love you so much during the process that they're like, why don't you make our website also? Why don't you do digital marketing also? I've stayed away from all these things, even though it makes you money, but we like what we are doing. So what happened after that? I started drone cinematic shoots. I started a lot of clients came to us where they were like, we want that virtual experience, but we don't have anything to show right now. And that's where XR came to my, story. That's where 3D came to us, like virtual reality, Unity, and all those things started. And we were like, yeah, we can imagine all these things and we can create it for you. And since then, I think I've covered more than 4,000 drone cinematic shoots across India. I've created 40,000 plus virtual reality experiences for various brands, various launches. And so yeah, that's how my journey was. And we are pushing our boundaries with these enabling techs. It helps us a lot to leverage on this platform and give better solution to the client at a faster speed. So I think in last 2 years, a lot of things have changed, and we are also enjoying, the speed of the tech and the kind of solutions that we are able to bring in. And clients are also excited, open to spend, open to explore, and see what solutions can, because everyone wants to do something different. It's no, virtual reality at one point was a item number for the client. They were like, "अरे यार बोला है, KPI है, करना है, एक VR का कुछ करना है type." But today it is a necessity. How times change, and they were like, "यार इसके बिना तो launch ही नहीं होगा." It's like that. So I've seen the entire journey from trying to convince the client to take virtual reality, why they need it, because people were shifting from BlackBerry to Samsung to Android ecosystem was coming in, internet was changing, the speeds were changing to what we are today. So there's a lot to say. I don't want to say everything on the opening question, But yeah, that's how my journey has been, and I have a lot of case studies to share in case we talk about. And yeah, that's that.
Fantastic. That was great. Like coming to Mr. Vinitji, your journey is something which I saw, and I was very much excited to hear it from your end. How it has been, like Codex se leke, Twinverse, and Twinverse se Seedha Dubai.
So actually, how it started is at first I was in college. I am just recently into this AR/VR thing. Firstly, I started it with doing projects and little bit like that, doing different kind of projects, exploring different things. So वहाँ से क्या हुआ कि just once we thought कि Unity is something which requires a lot of efforts to learn to create a good virtual experience. We thought, okay, let's make a platform where anyone with no coding experience can create drag and drop and create virtual experiences. Actually, I wasn't into this architectural thing and all. I was planning to make something so VR is accessible to everyone. So I started working on this idea, got few of my friends with me, and we started developing it. So how it started actually, we went to Dubai to pitch this idea in the GITEX Dubai conference, and there we got a huge feedback. कि, okay, you can implement this. This will be great. This will be great. वहाँ पे मेरे को multiple inputs मिला. कि, okay, great. You can use this thing in architectural things where students can make things. Cause most of the architectural students, what they do is right now use 2D boards to create architectural design. Use Maya or Blender to render those images and 3D models. And once they render those, they test it using physics like Canon, Rapier, and different things. And if there is some fault, they have to go straight back to the starting, start it again, reiterate until they get a better model. Instead of it, if you can make something, test it then and there. Like Unity में आप ये सब कर सकते हो. You can do these things in Unity, but like I said, it requires a little bit of technical knowledge to it also. So not everyone can do this, right? Like let's I go and approach some architectural firm and sell this model. Let's do this. So he can hire anyone with a little bit of architectural design. He can say, okay, this is a storyboard or architectural design. Just implement this into the software without any technical knowledge. That guy can create the whole model and just see how it works, see how the physics is working and all. So that's how started venturing into this AR VR thing. I registered my company very recently. I got a few opportunities to exhibit an G20. So I went exhibited in G20 Sikkim and G20 Bhubaneswar, where I met with Chintan Vaishnav. So his inputs were huge. Like he said, he sat with me and said how I can develop this into skill development. Like I can give this to students so that they can try this software, building different experiences and being better. Like it is better if you wear a headset and do Tony Stark something like that. Like Tony said, how you can do a better building inside? There are two ways. First is you can use hologram technologies. कि आपके सामने physical world में you have a total thing you are watching. You can see, okay, remove this, put this, and this is looking great. Now we don't have those, but we have AR glasses. I saw one of your glasses recently at IMC. I was participating there too. So those glasses were see through. I can put a physical thing that AR technology, XR technology. I can do things crazy things with XR technologies. So that's how my venture started. That's still going. I'm still learning things, new things, trying to do multiple things, implementing multiple things in this field of architecture and building immersive experiences for everyone. You don't have to be a good developer or good experienced person, but yeah, you can. And like Aditya said, that okay, now the transformation is from why should we apply a VR thing to yes, we need a VR and XR angle to every projects and that's great. So everyone needs VR and AR. So why don't we make it easier for everyone to get it accessible, right?
Right.
Thank you.
Fantastic. So, listening to you, there are a lot of people from non-tech background, we can say, from the commerce background, who actually had a dream of getting into a tech background, but due to some of the other reason, they could not get into it. Maybe due to some admission reasons or due to some percentage issues or something like that, they might have switched their domain to, commerce or something like that, the non-tech. But if you see, they still wanted to become like, they have something in their mind or heart that is driving to the technology thing. So one is me from that actually. And when I hear about like, पहले ऐसे होता था कि कोडिंग सुना तो यार कोडिंग तो बस की बात नहीं है, नहीं हो पाएगा, मतलब वहां पर ही गिव अप हो जाता था. बट when we listen about this drag and drop वाला feature, and we feel कि इसके लिए टेक नॉलेज की ज्यादा जरूरत नहीं है, मतलब कोडिंग की जरूरत नहीं है. Now this is where we people like me have that hope, we can again become a developer, or we can again create something into this AR VR technology as well, right? So this is actually a fantastic technology that has came into place. Moving ahead, I want all my attendees, like all our attendees today, whatever questions you have, you can drop it in the chat box and we can answer it at the end of the session. Okay, so your first the next question is for Manojji. Manojji, XR architecture often involves virtual and augmented reality, right? So how do you navigate the balance between these two approach in your projects, and what advantage does each bring to the table?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, to start with, we don't actually start with augmented reality. It will first start with virtual reality only, to create walkthroughs of the project, to create, kind of give design experience to the clients or the stakeholders. Design validation is one of the important things that happens during the virtual reality one, where we create presentations for our clients or for students or for projects or for colleagues. And then comes the augmented reality, where we put the overlay of what is there actually on it and give a immersive experience in terms of this is the design and this is the reality. So how is the reality affecting the design or impacted the design? Is that enhancing the environment? Is it disturbing the environment? What are the effects that are going to happen? So that there, this is the balance that is required, where you first work out things in virtual reality, then put an overlay of augmented reality, then you use that entire package, even for marketing, even for your on-site execution, post-execution, how is the thing going to behave? A simple example would be, say, for example, when we design solar shading devices, what is the sun position going to be? And with that sun position, how are my lures going to get adjusted? And I can show to my clients or to the end users how they are going to get shaded on a particular day at a particular time, and how that adjustment is going to happen, which is very difficult to showcase in a 2D drawing or in a virtual drawing, because in a virtual drawing, I can show a particular time, that's it. But the variation that happens across the time frame or during the day, say for example, if I'm designing a school building near railway tracks, so noise is going to be an issue. Now this noise, how is it going to get generated? And if that noise is going to disturb my classroom, so what kind of noise cancellation devices or sound absorbing materials I've used, and how are they performing? This I can showcase with overlap of augmented reality on virtual reality, and I can make them feel, hey, this is how without intervention this is going to perform, and with intervention how is it going to impact. So this is where the user gets a full satisfaction. Okay, this is how it's going to benefit me. This is how we can go ahead with the project. This is how things are going to deliver as per the design requirement, which is not possible in 2D drawings, nor it is possible in only virtual drawings. I mean, walkthroughs and presentations have their own limitations. But the moment you overlay that with augmented reality, then the user experience totally changes. And the client also feels that he is one of the participant in the design process, which earlier was not the case. So he was sort of a passive person. But in augmented reality, in virtual reality, when we put all these things together and we make clients experience it, he also feels that he is a part of the process of design, where every stage of the design we make them experience it. How this is how it's going to perform. This is how the interventions will be there. If there is any revisions required, is it according to the taste, or we require some modifications? Earlier, this was only possible post construction. If something is not going to work out, the entire thing was like demolish this and make new one, or a tremendous waste of money, labor, and environmental damage to a large extent. But because of these two things, it becomes very easy. And I feel the balance lies between design phase on one side, pre-construction phase, construction phase, and as I told you, post-construction phase is a very important tool, which I think this area is yet to be explored with extended reality. post construction how the buildings perform, because once constructed they'll be there for 40-60 years, and with this tool in hand we can see without actually going to the project. So different consultants can offer their guidance on it, different consultants can give their inputs on it, which is tremendous advantage that is there. Even the collaborative projects that we have with other universities, so students across the globe can work on one project because of augmented reality, and they can see real time situation without actually physically coming here. So this has opened a huge exposure is possible, and people can get different kinds of experience in terms of working on different kinds of projects, and that wholesome experience is amazing that a student can get or a professional can get, collaborating with other professionals. So I feel this is the way it is going to, and as both the panelists have quoted, this is going to be the future irrespective of whatever field we are talking it. Even if it is, say for example, medicine, it is going to be a very important tool for teaching, even an important tool for collaborating. So all fields today are going to require this extended reality, one way or other. I mean, that
Yes.
is what I feel.
Right. Because this will be beneficial for each and everything, the architect point of view, or the, like, the maker's point of view, or even the customer's point of view. The
Right.
customer we will be able to visualize what they are going to get after the project is made or something
Yeah,
like that.
because a lot of things are selection based, which
Right.
earlier it was very difficult to showcase to the client ki what I have selected as an architect based on my visualization is going to work, but the client is not able to visualize it.
Right.
So to make the client visualize is a difficult process, because I cannot go in somebody's mind and make them visualize it how it is going to look. A thing may look fantastic in hand because we are looking at one piece of tile, but when it is put on 1,000 square feet, the total dimension changes, the look and feel changes, and this is very difficult to convince. But because of extended reality, I can show that 1,000 square feet without actually applying the product, and the
Right.
client can see and feel for himself how this is going to perform, how this lawn is going to look, how this terrace garden is going to look, what kind of view I'm going to get from this building's 21st floor before constructing the tower. So that's the beauty of XR, and people feel that yes, I'm getting that real time, no fake feel of the project. So this
Right.
is not something that is, what you can call built up, but it is reality that we are able to show with as much as real touch as possible, and that makes it wonderful tool.
Right. Exactly. So, my next question is for Aditya ji. How do emerging technologies such as AI and machine learning complement XR in architectural design? And how do you foresee their use case in future in the domain of architecture?
So I'll tell you a real case. Like we recently tried it. So AI, we are using. We are see AI is still not perfect, but of course we are using it on various platforms, like from Photoshop to ChatGPT to various other things. There are plugins that has come for everything. So recently, what happened? So we work a lot with real estate developers and architects again. So we had to create a combination of ready flat, furnished flat, unfurnished flat, and there had to be various combinations in that we had to create. Now every time we created it, rendered it, and there were a lot of things that we had to do. So recently, one of my person, what he did, so there was a bare shell flat, and using AI, he just added some furnitures to it, and it could give you an idea exactly how it's going to look like. And there were certain combinations that we started doing, and so we manually did it. We get 2-3 typologies of furnitures and interiors, but then we thought, like, what else can we explore? So there are certain drone shoots that we do. Okay, so typically in that we had to provide client different time of the day, how my view will look like from my window. Or then we thought, why can't we do it various season wise also? Because the best time of the season in Mumbai is monsoon. But unfortunately, you can't fly drone during a heavy rain. When there is a shower, you cannot do that. So what we did, we added weather option using AI in that. wherein you can change the weather also, you can change the time of the day, and we had to do it initially manually completely. But because of AI, 80% it gives you a good data, and then of course you have to do a manual retouching to it. You cannot rely on it completely. But and then on a land parcel, I don't know if you guys have tried it. If you do a masking on a land parcel, you can have various imaginations done on that. There are various combinations that you can put in. So yeah, I mean, we are utilizing it there. We have used it on. Then yeah, that's not. There is another thing that we did. I wouldn't call it completely an AI, but it's a mixed platform wherein in a virtual experience. Now we always try to. I've never developed a product basis what I think will work. I've always spoken to my client wherever they feel challenges. I try to resolve it with our product. What else can we bring in? So it has always worked for us. Now there was this client who told us that your product is very good, virtual reality, everything is good, but then when it comes to buying a property, people always like to. There are certain touch points, that a sales representative can give, but your virtual reality cannot give. So I was like, what kind of things? What are you talking about? He's like, let's say in my property, I provide vitrified floorings, or let's say I provide this kind of window, which is so expensive. The thickness is this, and it is soundproof, and the floor to ceiling height I'm giving 10 feet, which in Mumbai it has reduced to certain feet and whatever. So I was like, this can be explainable. I mean, there are certain hotspots that you can put and people can see that. He said, no, the way my sales representative talks, I want that kind of experience. So what we did in our virtual reality experience, we added a button of live guided tour. Okay. The moment you click it, there is a AI model that appears inside. You just have to put the script. There is you can choose the language, you can choose the male, female, whatever you want. He will stand and he will explain. Just to turn on the live guided tour in the virtual experience, he will explain you the floor to ceiling height is this is the kind of flooring that we are providing, this is the day view, and when he's talking, the view changes to night view, evening view, and if you want to switch the floors. And that small addition, I mean, sometimes it's all about the time and tech that where you present. That small change made so much of impact in the market. And I was like, wow, why did we did not do this before? And they were like, the directors of the promoters of the company, like, can I come? Can you make me like this? Can I stand in this model? This, that. Because we are so honest and we are the only developers. Every developer has a story, right? So they're like, we want to stand and talk about our product. So, I mean, we experimented, and I would say AI is still going to be experimented for another 1 year. And till the time you get that fundamental, what works, what doesn't, this, that, because it's still, there's so many people who are experimenting. I mean, my team every day comes and tells me, sir, ये भी होता है अभी, ये भी कर सकते हैं अपन, ये script तो चलो बहुत पुराना हो गया है, but there are a lot of things that they have brought in. So yeah, that's how we are using AI. We're trying to make our job easier and faster, and that's what we are trying to do.
That's a great thing, Aditya ji. Coming to Vinit ji, are there specific XR tools or platforms that have become indispensable in your practice, and what criteria do you use when evaluating new technologies for adoption?
Well, I'll say that every day this technology is advancing, new tools are coming in. So I keep on trying most of the tools. There are few tools that are I use on a daily basis with my team. First of all, there is Blender, huge, free to use, open source, and great software. Then comes Unity. These two tools we use on a regular basis because we try to test most of our product before doing something. I try to see how it's working on Unity. Let's try the see the models how they are rendering in Blender and all. AutoCAD is there for structural designing, for designing products and all. And we also use Revit to design buildings and architectural things. So these three softwares, they are stable. We use it. Other than that, we also try to make our current platform better, where you can do multiple things. To make something better, you should know what are the new technologies they are coming into the market. We keep on trying different kind of SDKs and all. So there are few criterias that I see before trying on or integrating it with my platform. Is first of all cost effectiveness. This is a new technology. The cost will reduce over time. Like right now, the penetration in AR/VR market is a little bit higher because you have there are glass glasses. You use for AR, you can use phone. For VR technologies, there are glasses, and there are very few companies making it. I saw yours glasses in the IMC. There are Quest. Quest is also reducing their prices. Quest Pro is user friendly, and Apple Vision, $3,000, $4,000. Those are huge expenses. So cost effectiveness is one, cause to make something accessible to everyone, you should keep in mind things that you are using are cost effective. Secondly, user experience, that how easily one user can get used to something, so that they can keep on trying new things on it. Or if you give someone a very hard thing to use with multiple options and all, they will be confused until and unless they are developer and they have that indie developer mindset that we have to try new things, keep on trying new things until and unless I find any solution. So user experience is one, and thirdly is that effectiveness and efficiency. That for how much power and efficiency they are providing. Like I tried, let's say I tried few things on Quest 2, and I tried few things on Quest Pro 2. So there are few things you can't run on Quest 2. The resources in Quest 2 are not enough. They will heat up, and you can't do things. The battery will run out soon, and all those basic challenges that we face while using hardware. Whereas Quest Pro is also there. They can provide you the certain things, and 1,50,000 highest budget is also there. So there is something where you find effectiveness of the things you are using to use it in full potential. So I'll check that the current things that I own, or everyone audience also, I'll see that whenever you try new things, try that it uses the 100% potential of the current hardware that you are using. Because VR market currently dependent on hardware. What hardware you use depend on what things you can experience. Unlike, because you can experience VR in Google Cardboard also, but the immersiveness, that angle of immersiveness in something, that doesn't come with that Google Cardboard or phone VR. It will come only with the headset. So you have to keep in mind that how compatible the things you are using or exploring are currently aligned with your headset's capability of running those things. So those are the few things that I keep in mind before trying new things. Although I'll suggest everyone to keep trying new things, because this industry is changing in a very fast pace. New softwares, new SDKs, new tools are coming every day. So keep on trying, but keep that in another 2 points, that compatibility issues are not.
Great. So this was all about the adoptions that we were talking about. Let's when we see new technologies coming up, right? We have a lot of challenges also. It will bring a lot of challenges in integration part, to adopt the change and everything. So let's talk about the challenges. So first with Manojji. Manojji, what strategies do you employ to train your students in XR technologies, considering the evolving nature of these tools?
Yeah, I think there are multiple strategies that are required. First, I feel that strategies should be flexible and adaptable, especially because of evolving nature of these tools. Every day, there's, as these both expert panelists have already pointed out, that each day there is a new twist in the technology, there is new addition in the technology, there is something new that is coming up, and you have to be adaptable to it. You cannot say, "Okay, I will just stick to the thing that I am aware about," and that is why you have to be very flexible. Having said that, I think there are multiple things that are required to train the students, to keep strategies in hand. First thing is to have structured curriculum integration along with the main course. So if you are able to design a curriculum that is able to incorporate XR technologies in the coursework, because in architecture, all 10 semesters almost a student does an architectural project, which is a culmination of the subjects of that year. So if you're able to integrate XR into that, students will get an opportunity to integrate XR along with that architectural project and come out and experiment. Because that is the stage where the student can really experiment and work out for himself how the things are, going to come up. So that one is a structured curriculum in which the course will focus on the VR, AR, or MR in architecture that is possible. Second thing is hands-on workshop and practical sessions. That is one of the important things where the students does not only listen to lectures but does an hands-on workshop with practical sessions connected with the particular project, where he's able to experiment XR tools or softwares, and is able to see today it is not that I have to be restricted to my domain. It is all about integration today. So I need to give students the exposure and let them experiment and see what is the best working for them, and whether they have some, they can apply some skill and make the enhancement more better, or so they can add to it. So that is what is required. So practical sessions will allow them to be comfortable with technology, because all students, when we look at students, we get a spectrum of students. We don't have all students which are top, or we don't get all students that are to a lower level. So we have to address, when we are looking at student community, it is a spectrum of students that are there. So first thing I feel is having comfortability with the technology. That is the first part that comes in. So here hands-on workshops and practical sessions will help the student develop confidence and comfortability factor with the usage of tools and software. So that is why hands-on workshops and practical sessions are extremely important. Next thing is access to HR hardware and software. So because such as VR headsets or AR devices, computers with that relevant software, all things should be available with the college lab, where the student can come anytime and experiment and work out and see, because every student will not be able to afford to buy all these things at the first go. So we need to have that access, so that the person or the student is feels like coming up and experimenting with things or working on his project, because each student will have a different approach to the project. So we don't have in architecture all students are coming up with the same solution. In fact, that is discouraged. So all students will have different solutions. And when I have got different solutions, I would like to experiment with my solution. So that access to hardware is one of the important things. Next thing is the collaborative projects, where the student, along with other students from other universities or abroad, are able to work on one project, where they're able to share the skill level, they're able to share their approach with this software and architecture. That will bring amazing results. That is another strategy. Next, I would feel is the guest lectures and industry experts coming and sharing their knowledge, know-how, experience, their approach towards problem solving, or their approach with the XR tools. And that would again develop confidence, and the students will feel, yes, I'm in tune with what is there in the industry today. So that connect is important, which will also bridge the gap. Otherwise, a lot of times we see that there is a gap between what the industry requires today and what students are working on. So to bridge that gap is also very important. Next thing is continuity in learning. That is also important, because as we say that it is continuously evolving. So continuity in learning is required. We cannot say a first year student I have taught XR and that's the end of it. The students will be required to do advanced things that are coming up, and the exposure to that sessions or that continuity learning has to be ensured by that. Another thing is giving opportunity for the students for stimulation and other things. That is also a very important part in XR. And I think peer teaching is important, where senior students are teaching the junior students. That way we'll be able to develop a community of people who are into XR technology and are able to work on XR technology. So peer learning is one of the important factors. Another factor I feel is research part, where many students are keen on doing research. So they can take help of XR and do research projects in the college, or using college lab, or access to the technology. That is an important aspect, where research and innovation, both things can work with that with this strategy. Another thing is, I feel, to stay current, where faculties, trainers, students are made to attend conferences, seminars, or expos related to AI or extended reality and these things, because they'll be updated by that. So I feel these, more or less, these strategies would be required to see to it that, the students are getting the required, developing the required interest, and are able to, apply their knowledge and come up with good work. In terms of using the tools which are there in Excel.
Right. Fantastic. So this strategies would definitely help our attendees at least to, break through to their challenges or obstacles that they face. So coming to Aditya ji, how do you balance the upfront cost of implementing XR technologies with the potential long-term benefits for your projects?
Sorry, repeat the question.
How do you balance the upfront costs of implementing XR technologies with the potential long-term benefits for your project, like hardware and software implementation costs?
See, honestly, I have a tech head who's crazy, and I mean, he has experimented with so many machines. In fact, my cost was too much last year. He's like, "ये भी चाहिए, वो भी चाहिए," ऐसे सब हम लोग सब लेके आते थे. But then finally, he has found that combination wherein we have arrived at something. Especially Blender was again, it was quite helpful, and then I think he talks a lot about Unity, wherein he's like कि अभी वो rendering का time नहीं लगता है ये वो, because of that you're able to see the output very. I'm not a tech guy. I don't get into it, to be very honest. I
Definitely.
just know how to sell tech. I know how where to implement it. My core is that, and they talk a lot about that. But what I've noticed, the initial development takes a little time, but in our industry clients are very demanding when it comes to changes, when it comes to ये एक बार वो बन जाता है ना मॉडल पूरा एक्सपीरियंस, तब मतलब उसके पहले कोई कमेंट करने नहीं आएगा. जैसे ही वो बेस रेडी हो गया, then there will be 100 people in the organization you wouldn't even know existed there, and they would be also commenting कि झूमर बदलो, ये बदलो, वो बदलो, and it takes time, correct? So with burning our fingers and doing a lot of trial errors, we realized कि बॉस इसके beyond हम नहीं जा सकते, ये चेंजेस ऐसे लेने हैं. यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड कि कहाँ पे आपका टाइम एंड एफर्ट कॉस्ट वेस्ट हो रहा है. आफ्टर अंडरस्टैंडिंग दैट वी रियलाइज, हमने एक फ्रेमवर्क बना दिया कि आप ए कैटेगरी चेंजेस दोगे तो हो जाएगा, बी कैटेगरी दोगे तो उसको इतना टाइम लगेगा, सी कैटेगरी दोगे तो उसमें कॉस्ट प्लस टाइम लगेगा. सो यू नीड टू डिसाइड ऑन डे वन कि बॉस ये फ्रेमवर्क है, इसमें हम काम करेंगे. और अगर आपको इसके पहले कुछ है तो वी स्टार्टेड सेटिंग अप मूड बोर्ड्स. पहले ऐसा होता था कि हम सीधा बना के दे देते थे क्लाइंट को, देन एकदम से फिर बहुत कुछ आता था फीडबैक. बट देन वी रियलाइज कि एक सर्टन फ्रेमवर्क हमको भी देना चाहिए. सो सब कुछ एक्सपेरिमेंट के साथ ही है, एंड बट देन थिंग्स स्ट्रीमलाइंड अ लॉट आफ्टर अ पॉइंट, बिकॉज हमारे लिए भी नया ही था, राइट? आई मीन, no, there was no what do you say, industry giant, or where we could ape the model easily. It's like till date हम लोग कुछ कर रहे हैं and we realize कि यार इसका मॉडल क्या है, how does it work, and we try to crack it. कि इसका how do you put systems to it? If you are able to put systems and processes to your product or project, then I think lot of things get cost and time दोनों बचता है, and time is money, right, in this domain. तो मैंने वो देखा कि जब आपने टाइम बचा लिया, अगर प्रोडक्ट अगर फर्स्ट गो में जा रहा है, सेकंड गो में जा रहा है, तो दैट मीन्स योर कॉस्ट इज सेव्ड. उसके सिवा हार्डवेयर सॉफ्टवेयर तो यार देखो इन्वेस्टमेंट है, दैट ऑलवेज सॉफ्टवेयर हो गए, हार्डवेयर हो गए, प्लगइन्स हो गए, दीज ऑलवेज रीप्स यू बेनिफिट ऑन अ लॉन्गर स्टेज. मैं तो उसको कॉस्ट भी नहीं गिनता. इट इज लाइक इन्वेस्टमेंट दैट विल फेच यू मनी, बट माय कॉस्ट रिडक्शन इज टाइम. दैट्स इट. सो वी implemented certain strategies जिसकी वजह से टाइम बचना शुरू हुआ. We could pick up more projects. We realized कि महीने में हम X number of project कर रहे थे, and so many changes के साथ हम लोग X+10 projects कर पा रहे हैं. So I think that saved me time and cost both.
That's really great. So coming to Vinit ji, so how do you navigate the challenge of convincing clients and stakeholders of the value of XR in architectural design?
So at the beginning of our conversation, Aditya said that the transition is there from convincing someone that there must be an angle to now they are requesting us that there
Correct.
should be an angle of VR. Right now,
Absolutely.
I am at the stage that I don't have to explain someone the current requirements that you need VR. They came on asking that, okay, I need VR angle on that. For clientele and for my stakeholders, most of my stakeholders are my good friends. So our vision aligns. So if I say, ki, oh, let's try something in VR, let's try architectural designing in VR or tourism in VR. So most of time they don't disagree. They okay, let's try it. Let's go for it. For if someone wants to explain it to someone who doesn't want a VR and want to convince them, let's say you want a VR, so I'll say just make a little demo. Out of 100 people in India right now, I don't even think five have seen VR. Trust me, everyone is talking about VR. Okay, this is VR technology. This is going on. You wear a glass. Trust me, I have exhibited on multiple events. Not even five on 100 have seen VR. It's their first time. Once they see VR, I don't think they want to disagree that, okay, no, I don't want this. They will say, okay, implement it, make it better. I want these changes and all. So it's very easy to convince someone once you show them the what's are the potential of having a VR, added to your project or product. So that's it. Uh, Everyone
I would
wants the VR nowadays, so it isn't a challenge anymore.
Actually, it's a wonderful, like what Vinay said. It is correct. You know how the pitch has changed. Before we had to convince why we are, why this tech, this that, and then what you would do on VR. Now the pitch starts from अरे हमको ये चाहिए, कैसे होगा, क्या होगा. Now another important point that everyone should remember when taking up a VR project, XR project, AR project, whatever, there might be clients with wildest imagination. कि अरे ये करना, उसको आइडिया नहीं है. मतलब you are the doctor
That's a huge
there.
challenge. That's a huge challenge.
Yeah. So what I have learned with my experiences, पहले तो उसकी imagination को practicality में लाना कि सर ठीक है, this is good, acknowledging that the imagination is wow, this that and everything, and ये ऐसे होगा, this is, उसको नीचे लाना उसकी expectation को. मतलब of course you will deliver वो लेवल, बट उसकी इमेजिनेशन बहुत ज्यादा वाइल्ड होगी, और अगर आप उस पर चल दिए बनाने, क्योंकि वो नहीं मीट होगा. आप
Current
बिकॉज देयर इज अ
technology
रिस्ट्रिक्शन.
permit ही नहीं करती है.
नहीं करती है परमिट,
Yeah,
बिकॉज
yeah,
वो
we can
ये
build
भी
those things.
एब्सोल्युटली. एंड जब आप उसको एक फ्रेमवर्क में ले आओ ना, एक बॉक्स में ले आओ उसकी इमेजिनेशन, क्योंकि ये ऐसे ऐसे होगा विद सर्टेन सैंपल्स, लाइक व्हाट विनीत सेड कि उसको दिखाओ सैंपल, छोटा सैंपल दिखाओ. अगर आपने वो कर लिया तो सडनली वो भी आ जाता है आपके इसमें. हाँ वो देखा था ना, वो सैंपल वैसा चाहिए, तो उसकी इमेजिनेशन उधर ही चल रही है जो प्लेटफॉर्म की पॉसिबिलिटी है. लेकिन अगर आपने वो एक्सपेक्टेशन राइट सेट नहीं की ऑन अ प्रोडक्ट, ऑन अ प्रोजेक्ट, देन कॉस्ट, टाइम, एफर्ट, मनी, वट एवर रिसोर्स आप बोल सकते हो, सब वेस्ट होगा eventually. So I think that's a very important factor in any kind of project that you take up in this domain, because जब हम सीख रहे हैं तो उनको तो आइडिया ही नहीं है ना.
Right. So, Vineet, जैसे I had been through your website as well, Twinverse का जो website था, so जिसमें like Twinverse is actually the digital twin, right? That you guys create.
No, actually, that was a sector, a part of us. Like
Okay.
we were working on digital twin, and we stopped it for a little moment because we are focusing on the AR builder part, what I described in the beginning of this here. So once we complete that part, like we complete digital twin is also new. Already, few of the big heads in the industry has already implemented digital twin. It's the industry 4. Industry 4 start with digital twin. Like let me give you an example. The brakes of Bugatti done by digital twin. All the architectural things that Accenture is right now doing is done by digital. It's a huge market, like totally different sector, and it is a little bit of different from AR/VR. If I have time, I can explain it. See how different. It will take a lot of time though. That's why I'm currently focusing on building this part where everyone can make a and access this VR technologies because it's still new. But digital twin is on the industrial scale, on different level. That
Okay, great. So, I have a final question for three of our panelists. So it will be from very different perspectives. So, like Manoj ji is from architectural background. I want him to answer from an architectural background. Aditya is from a business point of view. I want to understand. And Vineet ji, I want to make you. I want the answer from a tech background because you are from a tech background as well. So first, let's start from Manojji. As pioneers in XR, like how do you see the role of architects evolving in the coming years, and what skills do you believe will be the crucial for the next generation of architects?
Yeah, I feel first and foremost, is adaptation of technology and XR. That is a very important thing, because this is more or less, as they pointed out. I mean, the younger generation of graduates are more aligned towards this technology, use of this technology, potential of this technology, or comfortability about with this technology. But older firms which are there are yet to get tuned with this technology on a large scale. So that adaptation of technology is very important aspect. Integrated with the design process, pre-design process, design process, post-design process, pre-construction process. That kind of adaptation is what is required. Another thing is interdisciplinary collaboration that will play magic with different professionals, engineers and data scientists and sustainability experts. All this working together is going to be the challenge, and that's going to be the key factor. Another aspect is sustainability and green design, where you are able to pull in XR and see how the things are going to get commissioned, how the things are going to work for the particular building or project, and what kind of advantages in terms of environmental friendliness it is going to get. That is one part. Another thing that I feel is data-driven design and analysis, where the data is able to give value addition to the design, and the analysis is able to point to a systematic approach, is able to come to solutions which are practical, doable, and that is what will be required. Another thing is human-centered design, where the comfort of the occupant, comfort of the end user, and their expectations are met properly. So that is one of the aspects where ergonomics, human psychology, and that experience we are able to get in the design process. That is one important thing. Another thing which I have been already talking about is the digital twin of the project, where it can be later on used for many purposes like maintenance and rescue and so on and so forth, and even for urban planning. So these kinds of things become very important. In fact, many projects, cultural importance and your social importance, social relevance also can be used. Put to sense with XR. That is also a very important thing, where cultural fabric goes integrated along with this usage. And even building bylaws or the regulatory procedures that are there, rules and regulations that are there for construction of building, that can also get integrated with XR, and that can be also a promising thing, where you are able to get understanding of the implication of that particular rule for particular project. Where each project has got different set of rules that get applied to it, and depending upon the intensity, size, location of the project, different rules are set up. So these things will get integrated slowly with the help of XR into architectural practice, design practice, and it will be a totality. It will be a great experience professionally also. So I feel it has got a great potential in terms of all aspects of it. And this is not limited only to architecture. All fields today are going to be, this is going to get benefited by all, in all professions, such.
Right. So, Mr. Aditya, how do you feel, according to business point of view, will architects able to make good amount of business in the coming time after using XR technologies and all? And how will be the business scenarios in the coming time?
See, what I've realized, or as per my experience, you need to identify where you will make money first. For business will be there, XR will grow. But with time, as technology is in hands of more people, as there are pros and cons to it. There will be a lot of cheaper quality products also. There will be a lot of accessibility for people who are not able to go, Mayurji said, Manojji said, students need to experience it. So it will bring more options, more opportunities. But I feel here you will need to dwell upon the quality, what you're bringing, because a lot of people are creating problems and bringing solution, which is not required, to be very honest. You need to see where is the problem, and how this tech is going to solve it. So future may, I think it can grow to a level wherein it can be a replacement to a photography or a normal content that we interact, because of the high internet speeds, because of high processors. It will you'll be like कि चलो मेरे को 360 देखना ही है, virtual देखना ही है, XR देखना ही है. It is that given if I'm making my major decisions and choices. So it is going to extend. There are a lot of future, possibility in various industry, and let's see how it shapes up. There are so many opportunities, because I realized in last 1 year I was inquired for XR and other solutions from various industries. There were particular industry who were always experimenting. but from STP plants to power plants to so many people wanted different solutions. So there is a lot of awareness, and I'm sure there will be a lot of portals opening up in future for this business, for this domain.
Right. Uh, so let's come to Vineet ji. Vineet ji, what is your take on this point?
So I'll say that in future, every architect is gonna use AR technologies. Trust me, it's not about the penetration of how the technology is currently penetrating in architectural industry. It's more about the ease of use. Like in future, every you say me, is it easier to draw a board, render, or reiterate, or just wear a spec and build it on your hand? And design it on 3D plane. There's another dimension added to your current reality. That's
Imagination.
how it's gonna grow. Yep, you can create great things. Right now, it's a little different, but giving a little bit of time when the software is good enough that we can do
Yeah.
things like those, that would be great. Like you can get the whole insight of the thing there. Okay, this is a plot. I'm gonna build something there. Build it on AR, implement it, and see the spatial awareness around it. How the spatial context of the things are growing there. There are new technologies evolving, reducing the render time, reducing the ease of use is very getting very it is getting easier to use. Like softwares, there are like Spline is there. Recently, a software came where you can give text and he's gonna export a 3D model. You don't have to create 3D models too, right? Then there are generative design. You can go and click, okay, this is type of prompts I'm giving. This is my type of design, and they're gonna give me a design. Using that design, I can change few things, and there it goes. That's my design. You can test physics on real time. You can change things on real simulation instead of doing reiteration. That's how it's gonna help. So in future, AR, I not about VR. I'm currently focused more on AR. That AR technology will be definitely there in every architectural use. First of all, you can use it. You can place it somewhere, anywhere you want. You can create easily. You can get the whole the spatial context in one view, one angle. You can move it around. There's an extra dimension where you can experience it better, and also you can show it to someone in a better way, like showing them a video and image. Just show them a video or interactive model of an AR model. So that's how it's gonna work. Like that's my view. That in future everyone is gonna be using AR, especially in the field of architecture.
Also, adding
That's
one more point to
yeah.
Vinith's point, it is going to be used in, it is already being experimented and used in BIM technology, building information management. A lot
Yes,
of,
yes, yes, yes.
because they want to see where the pipes are, intersecting, where this is going, like, wherever. I don't know if you guys have seen that model. It is already being implemented, and it is going to help a lot in that domain, in that industry. So yeah, definitely. And just one last thing. In fact, AR, what Vinit was talking about. So we did a huge campaign with the Google Lens because of my association with Google. I was one of the fortunate ones to have Google Lens backend completely with us, wherein our job was to make every ad AR enabled. Just you have to open your camera. AR failed as a concept during a period because you had to download one more application to use it. That became a hassle. Everyone created their own application, but after implementation of Google Lens, and camera has this technology, so Google activated Google Lens with AR enability, wherein you could just scan the ad, then things come to life and everything. So they were just doing it for Bollywood, big posters before, and then we implemented it for consumer goods, and that became a big success again. That one of the case studies there on my LinkedIn page, what we did for Crompton. So we made their box come to life. We solved a problem wherein if you go to buy a fan in a hardware shop, there are so many fans out there in the boxes, but there are small features that you don't get to see or experience. So all you have to do is just open your camera, see the box, and the fan comes out, gives you all the feature, all the details. So it became very interesting, that model, what we did.
Great. So we are actually running out of time, and I have one questions from the attendees. So we can answer it. Keep it short. So the question is, he's currently working on an interactive architectural project that can run on most of the platform it has. So like 360 images, videos. 3D models and some web-based features. So his question is, how do he make the cost structure for the client? It's a luxury bathroom or showroom. So it's a purely architectural based question. Can someone from the panel?
So, I mean, what you want to know the cost structure building, right? How do you make the
Yeah,
cost structure?
yeah,
I mean, say it depends on, you need to define on the basis. There are various ways that you can do. Like you can either build a cost structure basis the output that they export. How many types of output you can export? How many types of, because combinations people would like to see a lot. So either you can work on that, or a number of outputs, a number of exports, or number of premium products or the assets that you would add in that. So if you have luxury assets or premium assets, you would charge them basis that. What typically Envato does and other 3D, you have to think from the line of how we buy 3D models for making something. How they charge either a subscription fee, either the export fees, or per product fee. Maybe probably it can go on that route. I mean, open to hear more options from Manoj and Vinit.
So I'll say that you can structure it like this, like you first calculate that what are the resources that your team is taking to make it. Okay, like first of all, there must be 3D developers who are developing 3D content. Then there are developers who are implementing those 3D content in VR technology. Just do one thing, that you just go to your teammates, or if it's your company, you just standardize those prices that what they are taking on hourly. Then count that how many hours is put into each and every one individual, including the softwares that you are using. At the end, you'll come to a cost, double it, triple it according to your margin, and that's how you'll get a structure. Now you have to run it. You have to standardize it at the beginning of formation of taking any product. So once you have those structures, one standard that how developers are working, how many hours they are putting in into a project, then you can easily find cost for any clients and all.
Yeah, I think both panelists are having better experience of selling the software than me. But I feel, as Vinitji suggested, man-hour calculation would be the best thing to arrive at based on the end product delivery that they want. And as Aditya also mentioned, okay, the way in which it has to be delivered, that is to be taken into consideration, and then cost factor has to be arrived at.
And
So,
one most important factor whenever you make a product, a lot of people get killed by the server fees. Most of the big tech and a lot of products never saw light, daylight, because they were killed by AWS and the kind of cost that it brings in. So whenever you build a product, you need to understand where when you host it, what kind of fees are involved, because you cannot just rely on the product or the man hours anymore, like, because there's so many cost structures involved, right? Because I have a product which, like, they create twin cities. They have entire city ready. I have seen that product. It is wow, it is amazing, but it lags, and for that they had to shift it on AWS, higher speed server, and it killed them. They are not able to I mean, they're not able to sustain the cost that is being charged. So yeah, I mean, you need to take care of
This is
that.
one of the fundamental problems in creating this VR thing.
Yeah,
One of the fundamental. You, if your hardware is supporting, but your servers are lagging, you won't experience the whole thing. You promote to greater servers and the cost rises. Right? Huge.
yeah,
You have to find a perfect balance between them, or else you are in a huge problem.
which is the reason I love static VR. I mean, now I love
Yeah.
Unity, but then it saved a lot of cost on developer side also, and the implementation side as well. Yeah, I think.
fantastic.
yeah, that's a
So
good input.
yeah, yes. So to all my panelists, thank you so much. It was great to have you here on the webinar. So, Mr. Like Manoj ji, Aditya ji, and Vinit ji, we will wind up this webinar here itself. And it was great to have you all. We would love to have you again here in the coming time. So, namaskaram from my side, and to
Thank
all
you.
my attendees, you
Namaskar.
have been a very much lovely audience. Namaskaram to you as well, and we will see you very soon in the next panel discussion session as well.